Good evening everyone and welcome along to League of Europe. We are here of course on F1 2021. It's Season 6 Division 1, Round 6 of the Championship as we take in the French Grand Prix from the Circuit Paul Ricard. Bonjour everyone, my name is James Said. I'm going to be taking to the stream as always, and joining me in the commentary box of course, not fluent in French but fluent in Irish, it's Mr. Gary Donegan. Gary, how you doing?
Salut. Yeah, that's some French. I know a bit of French here and there, but yeah. Back again for round 6 around France, of course. Really looking forward. We've had 5 terrific races so far. Lots of entertainment, lots of drama in the championship as well, especially last week, which we'll delve into in a moment. But yeah, after 5 rounds, we're starting to see who's really fighting for this championship, starting to see the names at the top, who's cleared the rest of the field, and who's going to be fighting out for this championship. So really looking forward to tonight. It seems to be the 2 Mercedes in a field of their own at the moment. Cantera just a little bit behind, lagging a bit behind, can't really be as consistent as the top 2 guys. So it'll be interesting to see how the 2 Mercs get on tonight, as they didn't have the cleanest of races last week.
Yeah, not the cleanest of races last week, to be honest. Obviously, Connor DNF, Montana finished in 5th position as well. So, obviously, the Mercedes guys fell a little way short last time, of course, in Singapore. And it was Albon, of course, who took the win last time out. Justas in 2nd, and then in 3rd was Dylan. Couldn't see him on the graphics for some reason on the table. But anyways, Montana does lead the way on 78 points. Connor in 2nd on 65. Cantera in 3rd on 53, with Rocco in 4th on 50. A strong performance last week in Singapore. Justas in 5th as well. Strong, a point behind him on 49 points. Albon in 6th after his first win of the season on 42, tied with Verstappen. Neil in 8th on 32. Dylan in 9th on 26 after picking up his first podium. And Matthias in 10th on 12. Reuter in 11th on 11. With Vaporizer, Daniel and Alphatrix all tied for 10. Again, Alphatrix not attending tonight. Nathan in, Campbell I should say, in 15th on 9. Nathan in 16th on 8, along with Yulbream. Yulmelmat 18th on 6. M. Short in 19th on 5. Jensen in 20th on 4. Then Leonard, Joom and Izza have all scored points as well there on 3 and 2 respectively. Obviously Montana still holds a 13-point lead coming into tonight. Around a track like France where overtaking is going to be an absolute premium, and those famous 2 words come up again, DRS Tron.
Yes, but this week he has a little bit easier. He doesn't have to start from last place like he did at Singapore, so he got P5. Yeah, he could have quite easily done a podium. I think was definitely in contention before he picked up damage earlier in the race. So I think Montana's going to have it back the way it's been the previous 4 races, where he's taken 2 wins and a 2nd place, which he won on track. So he had won 3 of the previous 4 races before Singapore, and he's just been clear of the whole field in qualifying especially. He just really has put his mark on qualifying, and that's just given him a great platform for the race, and I'm expecting a bit of the same again tonight from him.
Yeah, to be honest, I think Montana and Connor obviously dominating in terms of the team standings as well, and I'll load up the team standings now. And yeah, Mercedes on 143 points leading the way, Red Bull in 2nd on 76, Alpine in 3rd on 56, with Ferrari in 4th on 54, and then Haas in 5th on 51, Aston Martin 6th on 40, AlphaTauri 7th on 23, McLaren in 8th on 15, Williams in 9th on 13, and Alfa Romeo in 10th on 10 points. All constructors still up for grabs, of course. Mercedes, though, dominating. Montana and Connor obviously 1st and 2nd in the standings, and they're going to be hoping to try and consolidate that 1st position here tonight in France.
Yes, and they are an absolute... They're postcode ahead. I would give Mercedes the Constructors' Championship already. They are just absolutely dominating the constructors, dominating the drivers. You'd be a very silly man to bet against either Mercedes to win the drivers or the constructors unless something absolutely crazy happens in the next races that we have, the next 13 or 12 races that we have left in the season. So yeah, it's Mercedes to lose, I think. So there's maybe a little bit of added pressure. The expectation is very high. We don't have M. Short again racing tonight, who we would have said coming into this season was the only guy that could challenge Montana, and he hasn't really been able to attend many. If I think he's only attended 2 races so far this season. So Montana's been a little bit free of that. Not much rivalry this season as we had last season, but still, you got people like Connor, Cantera, Justas, who can definitely fight Montana on their day. So let's see what happens when we finally get going here at France.
Yeah, let's see, of course, what happens, of course, in France tonight. We are in the location of Le Castellet. 15 turns, 5.8 kilometres inland, 3.6 miles. Medium tractivity, according to the game, with 1 minute and 32.7 lap record around here. Those times, I think, should be beaten. Here tonight, the lap record holder being Sebastian Vettel, of course, set in 2019. And we have corners like Verere, Hotel, Camp, Saint-Baume, Mistral straight, down in towards the Montreal chicane, then through Signé, through Beausset, Bendor, Garlaban, Lac and Pont. Try remembering them in an absolute heartbeat. I've got a track map to the right hand side of me to take us through. Couldn't find an English map, but luckily I found one just in time before the stream actually started. But 15 turns. Bunty saying there in the comment section as well, moves into turn 10 aren't that rare, to be fair. I've seen really good moves going around the outside and towards turn 10, and there are a lot of places where the drivers can certainly overtake.
Oh, this is a great track for overtaking. The issue becomes, like you said, it's actually with the DRS trains, when there is like 3 or 4 drivers stuck on the train. That's where it becomes a little bit more difficult to make the overtakes. That's where we might see a bit of difficulty in the overtaking. But also we have the new patch that came out recently, so the times have gotten a little bit slower. The game has changed ever slightly. A couple of things changed, maybe on the traction side of things and maybe on the handling just a tad. We're still waiting for that big handling patch to come now in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, that's something else that the drivers got to adapt to, is this new patch that has slightly changed the way the cars drive, and I'd be interested to see how the drivers cope with that as we finally get going into the lobby and into the start of qualifying. We're interested to see if we have wet race or quality as well. Rain is quite known to happen here, especially on the game around France. It does like to throw up a bit of a wet race or a wet qualifying, so don't rule that out as we start to load into the session.
A little bit of banter, by the way, going in the Discord. I can see Montana has already thrown a little bit of a barb at Izza for saying it's a bamboo connection. Well, he did get a reprimand, actually, for his connection last week as a result, and Cantera picked up a 5-place grid penalty, the 5-place penalty in the race. That got removed by the stewards. No position changes to report as well. No qualifying bans either, so you're going to be seeing 19 cars out on track. Beautifully dry qualifying session as we come here to the Castellet in France. Circuit Paul Ricard, round 6 of the championship here in Division 1. And what are the tyres that is everyone going to be going on within this session? Obviously, we've got the choice of the softs, mediums, and the hards. I would be very surprised, honestly, if drivers actually start setting a lap on a set of softs, because mediums seem to be the better tyre around here.
Yes, but I don't think we're going to see people qualify on the mediums, to be honest, because there is such a huge delta between the two. I think it's 1.2 seconds delta split between the medium and the soft, so you're not getting top 10 unless everyone does medium tyres, which you can never rule it out. It could possibly happen, but I think the people will go soft hards. Maybe that'll probably be the most common strategy we see. Like the alt strategy here is going to be very, very strong. It's always been strong on this game, but especially at a track like this, where the softs aren't the favourable tyre, but they're just so much quicker than the mediums in qualifying. You're sort of forced onto them. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if anyone actually does do the medium or start on the mediums like you're saying, because I would be actually quite surprised to do that. But who knows? We seen it last week in Singapore that a lot of drivers started to side onto the medium tyres, so we might see the same again here this week.
Yeah, might see the same again here, of course, this week in France. Jensen's the first man out on track. He's on a set of medium compounded tyres. So Montana come out on the set of soft compounded tyres as well. So a bit of a change up in terms of the qualifying, in terms of how the drivers approach in terms of the tyres. But Jensen probably going for a set of mediums, trying to get a lap in, of course. We haven't even spoken about track invalidations either around here. It's such a wide out track. This is normally known as a testing track. Obviously now the French Grand Prix taking over from Magny-Cours back in the early 2000s. Jensen on a set of medium compounded tyres. What times are we going to be expecting around here, to be honest?
On the mediums, or softs, I would expect the mid to low 28s. So on the mediums, it's probably high 28s, low 29s, mid 29s, around that, depending on who sets the lap times on. So let's see how Jensen gets on. So I'm expecting at the very least mid 29s on these medium tyres at the start of the session.
Yeah, well, let's see what Jensen can do on the run down in towards turn 1 at Verray. Hopefully these French pronunciations are not that great, and has now come through turn 1, and then in towards turn 2, and then down in towards Hotel at turn number 3, and not looking too bad actually through the first couple of corners there from Jensen. Now in towards turn 3, then in towards turn 4. If you can hear a bit of crackling, by the way, when Gary speaks, we think it's because of the PSN update, and that's why there might be a little bit of crackling. Certainly reported in the last 2 nights of my commentary. 22.1, however, from Jensen through the first sector. He now comes on to the Mistral straight, running down. The DRS zone, by the way, has changed on this game. It's been moved forward about 40 yards to where the other track layout would be, and the runoff areas on the right hand side. Jensen though takes the chicane node coming through 8 and then 9, and then up towards the hill in towards turn number 10, and not looking again too bad through this middle sector. We'll see what the split is. It's a sub 50, it's a 49.8 through the middle sector from Jensen. Now in towards Senier at turn 10, and then in towards the double right hander of Bose coming through turn 11, and it does count as a double corner through turn 11, and then in towards turn 12, of course, at Bendor, and this is towards the final couple of quarters out through Bendor, and then through Garlaban at turn 13, and then in towards 14 and 15 at Lac and Pont, as we now come through Lac, and then eventually in towards Pont. Very slow corner this is, the right-hander coming through turn 15. That's pretty much a lap down off the Circuit Paul Ricard. Jensen slowly but surely getting towards the line, and it's a 129 probably to start off the night. In fact, it's a 130 flat to start off the night from Jensen. Montana, by the way, invalidated on his first lap, so won't be getting a lap time from him. Neo was in the final sector as well, but Nathan goes on top with a 28.7.
That's a very, very strong banker from Nathan at the moment. That's a very good lap from him. He'll be happy with that. The Aston Martin driver who struggled a little bit in qualifying in recent races, just hasn't been able to make it all good. Like I said, Montana has invalidated, so he will not be setting a lap on the stretch. I'm trying to catch up to someone. I think Neo is on it. He's also invalidated. So let's see who else is on lap. Rocco is on a lap as well, coming through the last sector. I think last week every time we went on board someone last week they invalidated, so let's hope we don't have the same commentator's curse this week. And now he heads into the turn 15 tricky corner. Tires are absolutely screaming at this point, especially on the soft tires, maybe not as much on the medium tires with yellow flags. That's just people getting out of the way. I wouldn't worry too much about that. As he comes across the line, what's going to do is going to be a 30.1, and that's going to put him slowest of the medium runners so far. Nathan's the only one that's elected for a set of softs at the moment, so that's quite interesting. Interesting to see if the rest of the people on those set of softs complete their laps. I think Matt is also invalidated as well, so he won't be setting a valid lap. And then it's Alba, he's got all out of shape out of sector 1 at turn number 7. Sorry, he absolutely sideways. I don't know how he kept that car in the straight line, drifting around now down the Mistral straight. Last week's winner at Singapore, what can he do? A very, very quick driver in qualifying. We know that the races, he's fallen back a little and he's invalidated, so that's him also invalidated. So commentator curse hasn't seemed to left us this week, James.
Yeah, 49.2 through that middle sector as well from Alba. Obviously, he won last time out in Singapore last week, and I'd be hoping for, again, a very good result out on track. But currently, 9th position. Only 6 drivers actually set a valid lap time. Cantera and Doom have just came out the pit lane, so they're just starting up on their outlaps at the minute. Matthias, however, looks like he might be on a lap coming through the middle sector. In fact, no, ignore that. He's not on a lap. Izza, however, is. And of course, with his bamboo connections, he comes now through turn 11 and in towards turn 12. Jabba's now going to be very annoyed at the comment section as Izza is coming through now turn 12, in towards turn 13 at Garlaban, and then in towards 14 and 15, of course, of Lac and Pont. Now through 14 at Lac, and then through 15 once again at Pont. And Izza looking to be one of the most competitive drivers on the grid currently, with 12 minutes to go in the session. Nathan out on top, Campbell second, Dylan third. Izza, though, goes second with a 29.2, more like it. Set of soft compounded tyres. Inevitably, though, drivers are going to improve on this lap, and Connor is improving through the first sector. Hasn't set a lap time so far, 21.7 currently for his lap time out on tracks. He now rides on board. We ride on board with him on the run up towards turn number 10. It's a 49 flat through the middle sector. He's about 2 tenths quicker than Izza through this middle sector. What can he do, though, in this final sector to try and put it in the mix? As he now comes through the double right-hander of turn 11, and then in towards, of course, turn 12, and then through Garlaban again at turn number 13. But Connor now, in towards turn 12, gets the car very much turned in, beautiful on the apex, doesn't run wide either, nearly looked like an invalidation coming through there, now through Goloban at turn 13, in towards Lack at turn 14, and then through Pont at turn 15. Nathan Knowles still out on top, Izzer in second, but I think Connor's probably going to be going quickest out of the night. He runs wide at the final corner, not sure if that was on purpose to invalidate, 28.5.
Yeah, I think he did that on purpose. That gives you an indication of what. That gives you an indication what tires Connor's going to be starting this race on. He's probably going to go for the medium tires. But yeah, that's very strange. He's on a very good lap. With 28.5 would have put obviously P1 at the moment, but that's a very strong lap. It would have been very hard to beat later on in the session. But yeah, he's elected to invalidate. I think it looked like he did that on purpose. So I could be wrong. Could have just lost on traction at the final corner, but I'm not too sure on that one now. Gio Melmat is now on lap. He did a 49.2. Middle sector split, so he's 2/10 off what Connor did, and Connor did a very representative lap time, so he's going to be around Izzer Nathan. If he might be in the middle of those two guys through the middle sector now. The tyres are absolutely screaming right now through the long twisty corners of 11 and 12. This is where the temperatures of the front tyres, especially his front left especially, and he's invalidated as well, so Gio Melmat will have to come into the pits probably, come straight into the pits, and he won't finish the lap. So a lot of invalidation. Once again, we still only have 8 drivers set a lap, and we're already 9 minutes left of the session. That's, I think a lot of guys are actually going to prepare for a medium lap at the end of the session. Maybe that's why we haven't seen so many lap times so far.
Yeah, well, Justus is actually on a lap here, coming through the final couple of corners in towards Pont at turn 15. He's set at 48.9 through the middle sector, so this should be up towards the top end with Nathan, runs the line, and that's more like it at 28.4. Justus goes top, Nathan in second, Izzer in third. I think drivers might be leaving it late. Verstappen has just started up on a lap. Yildirim is also out there on a lap. Dume and Cantera are coming through the first sector as well on their laps. Yildirim now on the run up towards turn number 10, 48.9 through the middle sector from the German. Of course, Yildirim, his best result to date in LOE was Bahrain last season, where of course I think he finished second behind Yul Melmat. So both of them, of course, teammates, QVR and NSX teaming together. Never thought I'd say that in League of Europe. So now comes through turn number 12 and then towards turn 13. Jav, by the way, in the comment section saying, first thing I hear is my name. Brilliant. But Yildirim coming through 10-14, what a guy he is as well, through turn 15, and now Yildirim for the 6. Not a bad lap there from Yildirim, about a 10th and a half off.
Not bad at all, and we're starting to see the times tumbling. I think Verstappen is now going to be one of the next drivers to come across the line. The Haas driver had a great start to the season, a couple of second places, and then he's fallen off the last race. He picked up any points in the last 2 races, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, let's see what the Haas driver can do going to come across the line. It's going to be a 28.7, that puts him third, just ahead of Nathan. That's quite a good lap by the Haas driver. We start to see the laps tumbling down now. A couple of drivers have elected for the medium tyres. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to finish that lap, as Wheeler is now on a lap. He hasn't set a 1 yet, so this is going to be his first representative lap time. What can he do? The Williams driver had a couple of good qualifyings this season so far, especially recently. He started to pick up the pace, started to find feet in Division 1. I think he was in Division 1 last season. He didn't have the cleanest of races or cleanest of seasons for his standards, so he'll be hoping to have a little bit better, and he's starting to put things right this season, especially in the last couple of races as he comes around the final corner. Let's see what he can do down to start finish straight. What's his time going to put him? It's going to be a 28.6, and that puts him P4. That's a very strong lap time by the relentless driver. Still no one can get near. I only have noticed, QVR Campbell put himself up into second, very close to Justus, but those two guys are 2/10s clear at the moment, as Montana's on a set of mediums, James.
He is on a set of mediums, 22 flat coming through the first sector, now coming to the end of the middle sector into 49.6. He's well off in terms of his time, but it's probably the better strategy to go around, by the way, here in France. Mediums to softs probably will work. However, it's all dependent on the tyre management and the tyre wear, which will turn 11 and then in towards turn 12 and then towards Goloban, of course, at turn 13. Jav, by the way, saying again in the comment section, is the stream lagging or is it the Wi-Fi? We think it might be the stream lagging. I've certainly had that problem on an iPad in the last couple of days as well, so it might be something to do, hopefully not with your connection, Jav, but hopefully something to do with YouTube. Maybe refresh it and it might work. Montana though runs towards the line, and he's set to 29.6, quickest of the medium runners, but 9th position it is for him for now. Alba has just started up on a lap as well, 50.3 through the middle sector is invalid. Yul Melmat is also on a lap on a set of soft compound tyres. I thought he backed off actually coming through turn number 10, and he doesn't seem that committed on this lap.
Oh, Vierty Daniels spun out of turn 12. He was on a quite decent lap. He was, I think, 6 or 7 tenths up, and now he's gonna have to come back into the pits and go again. But yeah, this is the issue. What I was saying, Montana down in P9 on a set of mediums. I said the mediums are probably the best tire to start on, but just given how much slower they are compared to the softs in qualifying, 1.2 seconds is the gap or the delta split. That's the game. So that's yeah. If Montana had that, he would be right in it for pole position. If you go off the 1.2 second gap, theoretical lap time they could do on a set of soft tires, but on board now with XL Dylan, he's coming through now the final sector. See what he can do. I think he was 6 or 7 tenths up there. I just briefly saw his delta split as he comes through the long right-hander of turn 11. Very tricky on traction out there. You don't want to take too much curb as he's lagging a little bit around the track. That's his Canadian internet. He's got a very diverse League of Europe Division 1. So much for League of Europe. I think we need a name change, to be honest. Don't know what, but maybe League of World or something like that, because they're definitely not League of Europe as Dylan comes around the final corner. Doesn't invalidate. He's going to stay on the blue tarmac just to try and get the shortest run to the line. That's going to pump P4, 28.6. Really good lap by the Red Bull driver. Of course, down his first podium in Division 1 last week, so he's going to be full of confidence. So yeah, lap time still coming down, but Montana's still in P12. Maybe he's going to have to bail out on those medium tires and go on for those softs.
Yeah, I think he will have to be honest. Obviously, it's going to be a dry. If it's going to be a dry race, you would imagine that everyone would be starting on a set of soft compound tyres. But it doesn't detract away from the fact that we've got the top 10 separated by about 6 tenths per second out on track. ISA included in that is about 8 tenths per second, so the top 12 are less than a second away from each other. Add Montana into that, and it's 1.2 seconds covering the top 12 as well, so it's not too bad in terms of qualifying. Yildirim, however, is just about to start up on a lap. Connor is behind him out on track as well. He's coming through the final sector, but Yildirim now starting up on a lap, running down in towards turn number 1, and then through turn number 2 of Vera Ray as he now comes through turn 2, catches the curb nicely. Somebody, by the way, did invalidate and take out the bollard, so it's helped the drivers with a little bit of guessing game going in towards 3 and then in towards 4 and then in towards camp at turn number 5, and through the first sector he comes 21.7, 400ths off, and he can improve in this middle sector. It'll be quite good just to get a little bit of slipstream from Jensen in front of him as he now comes on to the Mistral straight. Will reach in excess of 200 mile an hour on the run down in towards Le Chicane Nord at turn number 8, and then through the Montreal hairpin at turn 9 as we now come through in towards turn 8, then through turn 9 at Montreal, and now runs out of turn 9 in towards turn number 10, of course, which is the top right-hander now coming up on track. 49 flat. He's actually lost a bit of time, Yildirim, through the middle sector. Maybe the commitment through the chicane node just enough to detract away from him in an improvement so far, but Yildirim on a good lap. Connor has just started up on a lap. He's coming through the first sector as well, but Yildirim now coming through 11, then in towards 12, and a little bit wide there, trying to take as much limits as possible and stay within the white lines, as I literally say that and he invalidates.
Yeah, you could tell from a mile away when he came out with 11, he was just so tight. He just had to get in the power too much early. But Connor's gone on to a set of medium tyres, so this is very interesting. So that invalidation he did down the main straight earlier on in the session was definitely done on purpose. That's why he's gone for a set of mediums. But I'm not really sure about this strategy. Montana's gone down on a set of medium or set of soft tyres, so maybe he's bailed out of the medium strategy. But Connor's going to stick with it. We've seen how good he has been in coming through the field in the races, so he's going to have to do a good job again in qualifying, or sorry, in the race. And I don't think he's going to have the greatest qualifying position as he comes through 12. I think there's yellow flags down the main straight. Not sure what's going on there. I think he just had a spin or something. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, okay. Never mind. And then now Connor, just one corner to go. It should be all good now. Yeah, I won't see him invalidate this time round. This is going to be his last run in the session. And where is this going to put the Mercedes driver? He's going to only go up into 12th place, 29.4. Ahead of his teammate Montana, but Montana's gone onto a set of soft tyres. And Connor's gone for the mediums. The only guy that's qualified on a set of mediums so far.
Yeah, it's massively interesting. Yildirim is off track coming through turn 9. and everyone now backing up for their laps. Nathan's coming through the middle sector. We're right on board with him now, running down the Mistral straight in towards the chicane node at turns 8 and 9. I think he's going to be the one of the first to set a lap, but look at the amount of traffic he has got ahead of him out on track. They better get out of the way, Swiftish, if Nathan's going to come up. And actually, Nathan may as well back off this lap because he's just invalidated, and that's exactly what he's done. He backs off. He's got that bit of clear air, so if he can go back onto another lap, he might be able to. Can't see how long is left in the session. There's plenty of yellow flags. I wish they'd actually get a move on and remove the yellow flags. It's 50 seconds to go. Nathan has got time for another lap, though.
Yeah, it's going to be tight for some of these guys. Look at the train that we're having to come through the final sector. Some of these guys might not make the line if they're going to back up so much, especially with the temps being so bad on this track. So keep an eye on that. But I'm on board with Verstappen at the moment. He's coming up to first sector split, so 21.832. He's nearly a tenth up on his time, so this is going to be. Gilbream has retired in the pit lane. He's had enough. Doesn't have time to go again. So the best he's going to be qualifying is P3. So let's see what Verstappen can do through the chicane.
Ooh, I tell you,
turn 8 and 9. What's happening?
Alba might go quicker. See, it goes the top. Well, it goes third, 28.5. Good lap from Alba. We're right on board with Verstappen.
Yeah, it's back on board with Verstappen. He's a tenth up on his lap, so this is going to put him in and around Dylan territory. So you can have a good final sector, maybe even challenge Alba and get himself on the second row. Last driver's going very strong here, as Dylan has been disqualified from the session. Oh, that's terrible for him. He was in P5.
Turn 2, I think that was.
Oh, way. That's bizarre. I'm not really sure how that's happened yet, but he's going to start in last place now. Still on board with Verstappen. He's going to be the first driver to finish his lap. Let's see what he can do. Can he get near his teammate QVR Campbell in second place? Can the Haas finally turn around their season? They haven't had a great season so far, and what Verstappen going to do is going to be a 28.4, and he's going to go P3, so that's very strong. 2,000s off his teammates, so the Haas driver is going very strong here tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what Montana's doing through the middle sector. Montana's invalidated, so he's only going to be starting 14th position as just trying to see who improved there. I think it was Daniel that went up to P6. Good lap from him. Jensen's not on a lap. Nathan is on a lap. So Nathan, what can he do? 28.7. Can he find the time to try and go on pole position? We're going to have a shot qualifying here regardless. Nathan now coming through the final couple of corners, now running toward the line as Yul Melmack goes quickest with a 28.3. What can Nathan do though? Runs the line. He goes 6th and he doesn't improve. Montana's not on a lap. Cantera is though, and he's coming now round towards the line. Don't think Cantera's going to be top, but Cantera runs the line and he goes into 11th position on the bubble. Doom now runs the line. Invalidated lap. I think that's the end of qualifying. And Alba is not on a lap. It's Yul Melmack out on top. Justa second. Campbell in third. If you predicted that top 3 at home, well done.
Yeah, that's throwing a spanner in the works. I said at the start of the stream, Montana will have an easy opportunity to win this race again. Let's not start from the back, and he's starting 16th. Yeah, we've got the 2 championship leaders. Montana, of course, leading the championship. Connor in second in the championship is now 15th and 16th respectively. So these guys have gone for the medium strategy. They have decided they're going to do it different to the rest of the guys. The issue they have is the people in 11, 12, 13 and 14, they're going to be able to do the same strategy ahead of them already, and they've got better track positions. So these guys have got a lot of overtaking to do. And we were saying already how difficult it is with the slipstream or the DRS trains, how difficult it can be to overtake. But yeah, wow, that's a very interesting qualifying. And Gio Melmack takes his first qualified or first pole of the season, and let's see if he convert that in the race. We got a couple of drivers up there that haven't been up there this season. We've got QVR Campbell and Nathan. Relentless Nathan up there as well. He's not QVR, I do apologise, but yeah, Ariane Nathan up there in P6 having his best qualifying season as well. So a lot of shock names near the front of the grid, so that's going to make it a very interesting race when we see the likes of Connor and Montana make themselves their way through the field.
Yeah, Yul Melmack out on top. QVR, by the way, filling out the first 3 out of the first 4 positions. Justas is the split and all that, but it's Yul Melmack out on top. Justas in second, Campbell in third, Verstappen in fourth. Take away from Yul Melmack from pole position, and look at how close Relentless, Justas, Campbell, and Verstappen are. 7,000ths of a second covering 3 drivers. Unbelievable. Alba there in 5th with Nathan in 6th, not part of QVR, sadly. Javelhead, you have your head for that one. Yul Dream in 7th, Daniel in 8th, Rooter in 9th, and Jensen ran off the top 10. Cantera, Neo, Rocco, Izza and Connor round off the top 15. Montana, the championship leader, starts in 16th. Connor second in the championship, starting from 15th. And also Joom not getting a lap time in, neither did Dylan as well. But we now get in towards the end of qualifying, in towards the formation lap, and we go. And to remind you of the track map in question, 5.8 kilometres, 3.6 miles around the Circuit Paul Ricard. Absolutely fantastic track, plenty of opportunities for overtaking. Bright blue sky, sunshine, exactly what we had in real life when we came here just a couple of months ago, and perfect racing conditions for the guys out on track.
Yes, and this is we probably knew it was going to be a dry race considering the majority of the field qualified on a set of soft tyres, so that gave us a bit of a hint at what the weather was going to do. We'll be interested to see now what the guys do outside the top 10. I would willing to bet a lot of money that we know Montana and Connor are probably going to start on the medium tyres given what they did in qualifying. Be interested to see what the rest of the field does. The old strategy, like I said, start of the stream, very good here if you can get through the traffic. And we know Connor and Montana can get through the traffic like nobody else. Excuse me. So yeah, keep an eye on those guys at the start of the race. We've seen Connor and Silverstone gain like 9-10 positions on the opening lap a couple of weeks ago. He'll need to do something similar here tonight if he wants a chance of winning this race.
Yeah, we'll see then what everyone is on. Predicting the pit stop strategy, looks like it's lap 5 to 7 on a set of softs to a set of mediums, and then lap 16 to 19. Relatively similar strategy, of course, if you are starting on the set of medium compound tyres as well. But, Montana, your prediction of him being on mediums is wrong. Connor is the one that's good on mediums, and Montana's actually gone for a set of hard compounded tyres. And honestly, the top 10 obviously qualifying on that set of soft compounded tyres. We've got a real split further down the field. On a set of mediums are Neo, Izza, Connor, Matthias and Dylan. And then on a set of hards, Cantera, Rocco, Montana and Doom. Just talk about the tyre strategy around here. Soft compounded tyres, I normally see drivers pitting in from lap 4, lap 5 onwards, I think. And if they can get beyond that, then they're going to increase their chances of getting a one-stop towards the end of the race. It should be a one-stop, obviously, if you go on to a set of hard compounded tyres. Some drivers might decide to try and risk it on a set of mediums. But further down the field, Gary, set of medium compounded tyres is a bit like halfway house around here. You're going to be going, what, 14, 15 laps, I would say, on that set of mediums, and then the hards can probably last 21, 22 laps.
Yeah, it depends what you're going to go on to after the mediums. If you're going to go into the hard, I wouldn't go so long. I'd probably go 12, 13 laps maybe, because we know how long the hard can go anyway. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting race because I would expect the top 10 to maybe pull away a little because especially the first 2 or 3 laps, the hard and the mediums, they aren't really a match for the soft tyres. They're pretty slow, especially on that first lap. So expect like there to be a bit of a gap formed between the top 10 and the rest of the field, but it will bunch up very quickly. Once that front left tyre starts overheating around the end of lap 3, lap 4, that's when the guys are going to start losing grip, going to have a lot more understeer through the corners, and that's when the guys on the old strategy are going to pounce and try and make a couple of moves before the pit stop phase. So keep an eye out on that when, just keep an eye out around lap 3 or 4. That's when the tyres are going to start dying off on those soft tyres.
Yeah, and you would probably see drivers pitting in, obviously, with the extended pit lane now around here, Paul Ricard. Of course, they used to go in a little bit of an intersection going in towards the pit lane on the right-hand side back in 2018. They changed that, obviously, and now we go all the way around. Pit limits, of course, will be looked at, I'm sure, by the stewards. Verstappen, Justas and Connor top 3 for Jav. Who's your top 3, Gary?
Campbell, Justas and Nathan.
Interesting, very interesting indeed. Of course, we are going to get we're going to get going very soon indeed. 19 drivers about to do battle around here, of course, at the Circuit Paul Ricard. Round 6 of the championship is about to begin very shortly indeed. Fasten your seatbelts because it's going to be one wild and wacky ride here in France as the 5 red lights now come on the gantry for round 6 of the championship here in Division 1, and it's light down, away we go. And Justas is reacting much quicker than Yul Melmatt. Might get the run down in towards turn on. The Ferrari and the AlphaTauri are going to go side by side. Alba's already in position past Verstappen as now Justas looks to the outside line. Yul Melmatt though holds the lead of the race. Justas in second, Campbell in third. Looks like everyone is clean through. Jensen has had to take the escape road, maybe in a bit of a collision with somebody, but Alba now going side by side with Verstappen down in towards turn 3 at Hotel, then through turn 4 and then in towards turn 5 at Camp. Daniel and Ruta are fighting side by side now into Camp at turn 5 through the end of the first sector. It's Yul Melmatt who leads, Justas in second, Campbell in third. Daniel still fighting with Ruta, gets the move done on the inside line. Beautiful racing between them both. Up to 8th and 9th they go. Daniel and Ruta 8th and 9th, but it's Yul Melmatt leading the way. Justas is right on the back of him though, really hounding the back of the AlphaTauri. We're through the first half lap. Jensen has spun once again. He's all the way down in the back of the field, but Yul Melmatt leads. Justas second, Campbell in third through the Mistral straight for the first time.
Yeah, I think everyone got it right cleanly. As Neo having a look on Cantera on those hard tyres, they will not be up to temperature at the moment, so Neo knows that he wants to get the move done on the Alpine driver as soon as possible. Looking at the progress that Connor and Montana have made. They made slow progress. Connor's up to 12th, Montana's around 14th, hasn't really moved anywhere. But yeah, it's getting very close. This is where they're all going to bunch up. Neo did not make the move on Cantera into the final sector, so he's going to have to wait a little bit. We were getting very interested behind Daniel. I think everyone got away with damage, without any damage, sorry, except Jensen. I'm not too sure what happened to him. Just seen him losing it coming across the track at turn 2, so I think he must have got hit by someone. But yeah, clean start for majority of the field. Jensen, the only one who seems to have had a poor start so far.
Yeah, Campbell on the back of Justas as well, coming across the line. Are we going to get the interval timings working? Yes, we are. The interval timings have worked. 4 on to lap 2 we go. Yilmaz leads the way. Justas in second. Jensen has picked up a 5-second penalty. I think he might be retiring, maybe in the pit lane. Campbell, though, on the back of Justas, relentless against QVR for second and for third position. Yilmaz has not actually driven away from Justas and Campbell. They look around the same pace at this stage, but look at Alba in behind. The Singapore winner, of course, last time out. He's in 4th position on that sort of soft compound tires. Chomping at the bit. Rooter is trying to get onto the back of Daniel. That's for P8 and P9 once again. And then I'm just beginning to break away. Cantera and Neo, about 7/10 of a second off. They're all on a DRS train, of course, next lap around. But Yilmaz leads the way. Justas in second, Campbell in third. We saw Justas through the middle sector into the final sector at turn 11. He got very close to the back of Yilmaz, and I wonder if Yilmaz might be just struggling for a little bit of pace, as Justas looks to me, we'll see it coming through the final sector. I think Justas has got a stronger final sector than Yilmaz. He can see the close-up running towards turn 11.
Yeah, Justas looks very strong. Been nearly man this season. He's had a couple of second places. Absolutely pushed Alba a lot. Very, very hard last week at Singapore. And we saw how disappointing it was he didn't get the win last week. So he's going to be a man on a mission to win this race. And he's got a great opportunity. Like you said, I think he does have the pace over Jules Milman at the moment. Just given how close he can stay behind him. I think Jules Milman's holding up a lot of these guys. Even Campbell is right on the back of Justas. So Jules Milman maybe he's just struggling with temperatures at the moment. And when the DRS is enabled, when we go down the Mistral straight this lap, I think Justas going to have a great opportunity to get past him, as he's right on the back of that AlphaTauri driver. I don't think there's going to be much he can do once the DRS is enabled.
Yeah, Campbell, you could argue as well, comes up into turn 1 there, got right onto the back of Justas and Yilmaz, then got thrown out of the dirty air, and just lost the tail of Justas's car a little bit, but you still Yilmaz leads, Justas in second, Campbell there in third. Great start, by the way, by Dylan, 4 positions gained, Connor up 3 as well, many position gains up and down the field. Izza and Jensen, the big 2 losers, 4 and 9 positions lost, as now Justas is right on the back of Yilmaz, running down the Mistral straight, in towards the chicane node, and Justas is going to try this to the inside line. Probably the first overtake we'll see all night, and Justas is through down the inside line, gets the move done into the chicane node, and then through Montreal in towards turn 9, gets the move done, and he's up into the lead of the race. Campbell now chomping at the bit in behind the Scotsman, right on the back of Yilmaz. There is a spinner through sector 1. It's Jensen again that has spun, and Matthias has also spun, coming out of turn 9 as well. I think he was around about Montana Dillon sort of area, but Matthias has now dropped into P18. Jensen and P19 spinning again, not his forte at all, but Justas leads, Yilmaz second, Campbell in third, and of course they have the DRS to be enabled on this straight as well.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting now, can Justas start pull away from Yilmaz, or will Yilmaz be able to stick in the DRS? It's very difficult to break DRS here, but Justas, you can already tell, he has much more pace than Yilmaz. He's already able to pull away a bit. Not enough for the DRS, but here comes QVR Campbell, QVR v QVR. I wonder if Campbell's going to try and get past his teammate, or not his teammate, his QVR teammate, very quickly. Indeed, you don't want to see Justas drive away, because Yilmaz just doesn't seem to have the pace to match Justas for this race win. He just seems to be struggling a lot more compared to the guys around him, so it'll be interesting to see if Campbell can get the move done, or will that DRS that Yilmaz is getting off Justas hold him in second place for the time being. It'll be interesting to see. I think we're going to have pit stops coming in now in the next lap or 2, so it'll be interesting to see what the guys on the Yacht strategy do now. They're going to have to start getting the hammer down, and it's going to be their time to start making gains on the guys pitting off the soft tyres.
Here comes Campbell on Yilmaz. Yilmaz made a mistake coming through turn 7, and now Campbell is going to lap that up, and now Verstappen on the back of Alba running in behind as well. Not going to get the move done, but Campbell does. He's through in towards turn 9, gets the move done, and he's through and he's into second. Yilmaz, though, will try and fight this up the hill in towards turn 10. It looks like Campbell is reacting maybe with that usage of ERS running up the hill, and Campbell is through and he's into second position. Nathan handing the back of Yilbream as well. The 2 AlphaTauris seem to be struggling. Yilbream just ran out wide there. There was a little bit snap of oversteer for the Further down the field, however, Connor's going side by side with Neo. Down the inside line into turn 11, gets the job done. And we saw Montana get through on Rocco on the exit of turn 9 in towards turn 10 as well. And Montana is soon, he's into 13th position, but he has lost the back of Neo. But a big old DRS train like this, it won't take that long for them to catch up. There's no pit stops, by the way, coming in.
No, and I think Justas made a mistake there because Campbell is right on the back of the Ferrari driver, and he might make the move down into turn 1. He's not even going to hold up. He's going to lift. He's going to break the DRS, and he's going to wait for the main straight. Smart driving, but yeah, I think Justas made a mistake in that final sector. So Campbell looking really strong at the moment on these soft tires. He's managed them really well, probably the best out of the field at the moment. So once he gets into that lead, it'll be interesting to see what his pace is compared to Justas.
Yeah, Justas looks like he's got the pace. Might be now, though, that the tyres are beginning to overwear themselves. And this is where Campbell, on that wheel, of course, is now coming into play on the back of Justas. The Ferrari leading the Haas, leading the AlphaTauri, of course, around here in France. Lap 5 out of 27. And if you thought that I'm going to be doubling up tonight, yes, I am. I'm going to be doing Division 2 around here later on alongside J. Cole. But Justas leads the way. Campbell in second. Yul Melmat in third. Albert in fourth. Nathan on the back of Yulbream. Everyone's stuck in that DRS train. Connor, however, looking like he's going to get the back of Cantera very soon indeed. He's latching onto the back of Cantera, running up the hill and towards turn 10. I don't think he's going to be close enough, but maybe in towards turn 11 he might be. Alba is right on the back of Yul Melmat as well. Matthias has picked up a penalty, but look at this. Connor, literally as you like, down the inside line. Cantera just realises him down the inside line. Connor's soon, he's into P10, and that is a prediction I get right.
Yeah, and Connor's the only one on the old strategy that seems to be making moves. Montana really hasn't gone anywhere on those hard tyres. I think his race is going to come later on when everyone else pits and he stays out for a little bit longer. He's
still
going
staying
to be
out.
doing the hard. I think he's going to do the hard. So yeah, they're all staying in still. So they're all seem to be quite content with this soft tyre at the moment. So they're all going to hang out, and maybe they're going to stretch for a set of mediums. Who knows? It'll be very bold of them, but let's see if they can do it. But yeah, no pit stops at all. So I'm thinking if they don't pit this lap, it could be going. They all could be going for a set of medium tyres, you know, and that would make it very interesting because I know some of them will struggle for tyre wear, and that could have a few punches come the end of the race.
Yeah, Jav saying in the comments there, lap 7, lap 8 is probably the time that he expects the drivers to come in. Well, we're getting towards that point very soon. Lap 6 out of 27, Justas leading the way. Campbell there in second, Yul Melmat in third. Albert on the back of Yul Melmat, the two Germans. Maybe about to do battle. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. Matthias has retired into the pit lane. So Matthias has retired as now Nathan is on the back of Yulbream as well. Not getting the move done. Everyone a little bit cautious, I think, to try and get moves done. Of course, they realise that the pit stop period, I should say, not the safety car period, the pit stop period is going to be coming up very soon indeed. But Justas leads the way. Campbell in second. Campbell again on the back of Justas. Coming through turn 10. Justas just doesn't have the straight line speed compared to Campbell. A little bit of ERS usage there as well from the Scotsman. And again, that yellow flag in sector 3, just Matthias' AI coming out the pit lane, not really going to affect. They are catching, however, traffic. Jensen is only about 8 seconds up the road compared to the leaders. And if they catch them before the safety car period, the pit lane, the pit stops actually happen. It's actually Alba's into the pit lane. Yeah, Alba is in to the pit lane, and he's the first to react, and along with Ruta. And Alba picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits.
Yeah, I think they're going to go on to the set of hard tyres, which I expect most of the field to go on to be able to. Now, this is going to force. Is that mediums? Am I seeing mediums go onto that tyre? Yes, it is. Yep. Wow, that is bold. That is bold from end of lap 6. That is a very bold strategy. He's going to have to do a lot of tyre saving to make that to the end of the race. It'll be interesting to see what. We also goes on to a set of medium tyres as well. So the guys are going for mediums. That Jensen picks up a 3-second penalty. So they're pitting very early. So they're going to hope that their tyre wear is better than the rest of the guys who are staying out. They're probably all going on to set mediums. They're all just gets all out of shape, and that's going to give Campbell a great opportunity down the main straight. He's going to have DRS, slipstream. Justas is going to have no momentum at all, and this is going to be Campbell moving up into the race lead for the first time this season. That's those little mistakes. Those have been the mistakes he's been making this season that have cost him race wins. And we just creeped in there again. He's lucky to not be in the wall. But yeah, and he gets all the shape again out of the chicane, and Campbell's able to pull a bit away. So that's very important considering we're in the pit stop phase. So that's going to be, that's big news. That's unfortunate for Justas. He's got a lot of ground to make up now, back up on Campbell.
Yeah, it's massive. Campbell, obviously, if he decides to pit in this lap, he's got an advantage over Justas in the pit stops, which will lead on to being a massive advantage later on in the race, of course, in terms of the tyre wear. But Campbell leading the way, Justas in second, Yulmelmat there in third, 5.5 tenths per second, covering the top two at the minute. Yulmelmat just losing the back end of the top two. They decide to stay at least one more lap. Yulmelmat, however, is in. Verstappen is in. Yulbream is in, and this is where we get the pit stops in. Yulbream actually nearly went into the back of Verstappen, coming in toward the pit lane. Campbell leads the way, Justas in second. Everyone else on the set of softs, that's Nathan and Daniel, all filtering through as well. And now the set of mediums and the set of hards begin to come into play as well. And speaking of which, Cantera on the back of Connor looks down in towards turn one, doesn't get the move done. Daniel looking like he's a little bit under pressure as well on that set of soft compound tyres in fourth. And to be honest, we're seeing now Connor's beginning to get into this race. And is the question going to be, can these guys overcut the leaders later on in this race?
I think they could definitely overcut the people who've gone to a set of hard. You've got Yulmelmat and Gilbert have gone on to a set of hard tyres. I think, the AlphaTauri guys double stacked in the pits, so that's a bit, Gilbert is going to lose a lot of time because of that. He got stuck behind his teammate Yulmelmat.
Justas gets the move done, and Campbell, sorry to cut in, I was bothering watching above with Connor there as well. Justas leads the way, Campbell in second, Nathan in third. Look at the track conditions that has just came over the circuit. It looks like it's going to rain. It looks as if it's going to rain out on track. Campbell's on the back of Justas, and this is something that we didn't prepare for. This is something that we didn't consider. The conditions, the weather changes around here in France, and it's changed quite dramatically in the last 30 seconds or so. Justas leads the way, Campbell in second. I wonder if this is why guys on a set of softs are staying out, because they may predict rain could be forecast soon.
It has to be, as they're both coming in. So this is so interesting as Nathan Pitts as well. If rain is coming, Cantera, Connor, everyone on the old strategy are in such a good position because they're going to gain 20 odd seconds on the people that have pitted. That cloud cover came out absolutely nowhere. It's got pitch dark. I'm going to have to turn the light on in my room. It's that dark on track. It is ridiculous how that just came out of nowhere. And if there is rain in the air, this is going to throw up. This could make sense why Montana and Connor have gone for the old strategy. This is why they maybe didn't qualify on a set of soft tyres. They knew the rain was coming, and maybe that's why the guys have gone onto a set of medium tyres, because they know they can't make it to the end of the race. But it doesn't matter, as Gilbert has crashed or he's retired in the pits. That's why they've gone on to medium tyres. I think they know they can't make it to the end of those tyres, but it doesn't matter because rain is on the way. So keep an eye out on those clouds. It has gotten very dark very quickly, and it could be a few laps now till you have a bit of rain.
It's literally as if somebody has just, made a man-made thunderstorm over the track. It's the best way I could describe it. The cloud cover has literally just came over the circuit. Beautiful blue skies and sunshine a lap ago, and now look where we're at. We're absolutely pitch black. Luckily I've got my light on, by the way, in my room, so I can actually see what's going on. Connor leads the way. It's Cantera in second. It's Montana in third. Changeable conditions possibly here in France. We could be on about rain, and it might actually dry up once again. It might actually be sunny towards the end of the race. We don't know what's going to happen in terms of the weather conditions and in terms of the tyres as well out on track. Alba, by the way, has undercut everybody out of that pit stop. He's now the net leader of this race, obviously with a penalty as well. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. That's for Yulbream, obviously retiring in the pit lane. And Yulbream's AI, by the way, went back on to set a soft compound tyre. That was quite interesting as well.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is interesting now. Alba in for a net P1 on 2 lap old tyres. He pitted very early on those medium. I don't think he can make it, and he's already derated as well. So I don't think he's going to be able to hold up Justas for long as Isa picks up a penalty and Justas isn't going to wait. He's going to try and get a car between him and Verstappen. Verstappen also jumped Campbell in the pits as well, so Verstappen is in net third place at the moment. So Campbell's lost 2 positions here in the pit stop phase, so he won't be too happy about that. Alba is not going to have a look, is he, into turn 3? Wow, I thought he was for a second. No, he's going to back off and he's going to hold back behind the Ferrari driver for the time being. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Alba can do, because those tyres, they're always out of the field, and I don't know if he can make it to the end of the race with that wear. It's going to be very tight for the McLaren driver.
Yeah, here comes Verstappen on the back of Alba. I think Alba realises that his days might be numbered. He is catching the back of Justas. Are we going to get 3 wide into the chicane? No, he's going to be boxed in, Albert. Oh, I thought he was going to go for the move. Verstappen actually backs off. Really, really good, I think. Now Campbell latches onto the back of that as well. Campbell with the fresher tyres compared to Albert and to Verstappen. And now Verstappen is going to try and run side by side up the hill in towards turn 10. He's right on the back of Albert. Looks towards the inside line. Might get the undercut in towards turn 11. Like we saw with Connor earlier on the race. Verstappen on the inside line. The Dutchman against the German. No holds barred here out on track in France as we now come through turn 11. And Albert and Verstappen are still side by side. This is great battling. We're taking them on with Campbell's perspective now. Albert back down the inside line, forcing Verstappen off track. A little bit of a forceful move off track, if I've got to be honest. But Albert's ahead for now. Verstappen, though, no love lost between these two. And look at Campbell in behind. You'll Melmat, Nathan, and Ruta are probably thinking, you know what? I'm expecting a crash at this stage. Verstappen and Albert right on the back of each other. Albert forced him off track. Might just go to the stewards. Now Verstappen's going to send this down the inside line. Look at the overspeed down the inside line, and he actually gets the move done cleanly this time. Verstappen's through, and he's into P10.
Yeah, and look at Justas. Justas has broken DRS, and he's got a 1.5 second gap now to the guys behind him. And Verstappen's had to use a lot of VRS to get into that DRS or get past Alba, while Justas has been able to keep a bit of VRS, build a gap. It's now 1.5 seconds, so Verstappen, Campbell and Jules Melma have got a big task on their hands if you want to get back into the DRS of Justas. I think Campbell's going to get the move on Alba again, who's already derating before we even get halfway down the straight, so this is going to be easy. He might even get his teammate Verstappen here, who's also derating, and he's not going to be close enough. No, he's going to have to hold that. Alba had a little look down the inside there. He picks up a 3-second penalty as well. It's very ambitious by the McLaren driver, but he holds in P12 for a moment. But Verstappen, I think it's only a matter of time before the two Haas drivers switch around, as Alba still very interested in behind the two Haas drivers. He's going to have double slipstream here. Slipstream very strong here at this back straight going into turn 11, but he's not close enough for the time being. So yeah, I think it won't be too long before we see a switch around between the Haas drivers, as Campbell was ahead of Verstappen during the pit stop phases.
Yeah, Verstappen, to be honest, they've got to try and calculate this very well. They've got to pick a point where Alba is off the back enough for Verstappen just to slot it in behind his own teammate. But I've got to be honest, Verstappen, I think, has got the pace over Campbell. Lock up in towards 15 at Lack, and then, into Pont, I should say. Yildirim has left the session as well. Verstappen, though, in 10th position. Campbell there in 11th. Yul Melmat is now being overtaken by Nathan. Nathan to the outside line, running down the hill in towards turn number 1. Gets the move done, and the Aston Martin is through on the AlphaTauri. And the AlphaTauri, of course, Yul Melmat on that sort of hard compound tyres. They're going to be the quickest tyre towards the end of the race if they do make it. On that sort of mediums as well, Nathan will be hoping to try and make it towards the end of the race. He's got a better chance certainly than Alba and maybe Verstappen to try and make it to the end of the race as well, as now Montana is right on the back of Canter into the chicane node, and Neil, Rocco, Dylan all in that DRS train as well. The sun is just breaking through the cloud cover here in France, and now Montana not hanging around with this, up the hill in towards turn number 10, gets the move done, and there's the switcheroo from the Haas boys further down the field as well. Campbell's through and he's into P10 on Verstappen. Montana though makes it look easy down the inside line in towards turn 10, gets the move done, and he's through and he's into second.
Yeah, and Campbell there has got a big task on his hands if he wants to get back. He was right
behind. Oh, look at Nathan!
Nathan, he's not going to... that's too close. That's too close for comfort. Oh, that even made me wince a little bit. I had to step back from the screen. I thought Nathan was going to hit him and just send him into the wall. Now he's going to have to hold back behind the McLaren driver for the time being. But yeah, Campbell's got a lot of work to gap 2.2 seconds. It was 3/10 when they pitted, so Campbell's lost 2 seconds to Justas between all the pit stop phases. So that's going to hurt his chance to win this race. But it gives Justas a great chance to just control the pace a little bit, calm it down, not pick up warnings, manage the ERS. So he's in a real strong position at the time being. But yeah, Nathan's the one that's making moves at the moment, and he's looking very feisty behind Alba. And I think it's just a matter of time when he gets past the McLaren driver, to be honest.
Yeah, Woots is latching onto the back of this as well. He's on a sort of medium compound and size in 15th position. Nathan's first bit of lag, by the way. And yes, Bunty, I think he has switched to BT, which is why his internet is that good tonight. I've got to be honest, I'm very surprised. He's down there in 13th position, though. He's on the back of Alba, on the back of Verstappen as well. Oh, as he nearly catches a moment, actually, coming out of turn 4 in towards camp at turn 5. Connor leads the way, Montana in second, Mercedes 1-2 out on track. They're still to pit, though, along with Cantera, Neo, Rocco, Dylan, and Joom. Joom also on the back of Dylan. Not going to get the move done there, I don't think. Nobody, in fact, is going to be close enough for the move down in towards the chicane and all that. Turn 8 and 9. We are pretty much halfway through this race. Half of the race still to go, and probably the most entertaining part of the race still to go as well as we get towards the end of the race. It's kind of leading the way. Montana in second, Cantera in third. A little bit alone in the action, but Nathan certainly looks quicker, I think, than Alba. Whether he looks as quick as Verstappen or Campbell, though, remains to be seen. If he can get the move done on Alba, I think Nathan is probably going to be in a chance of winning this.
Yeah, and it's going to be so interesting as we have the first people to pit.
Rocco's in.
Has bailed out on those hearts. He's going to go on to a set of memes, I would suspect.
15 laps.
On the strategy. Yeah, they could definitely do it. If the people that pitted on lap 8 are trying to go to the end, he can do 15 laps on a set of medium tyres, no problem at all. But yeah, coming towards lap 17, 18, when the people at the old strategy pit for those soft... It's raining. It is raining. It's rain. I didn't think it was going to rain, and Rocco's just pitted. Oh, wow.
But are we going to get a scenario where it's going to be raining out on track and it's going to remain dry? That's the scenario I think we're leading to.
That would be insane. Or we're going to have just a 10-minute period, 5-10-minute period of rain, and we're going to go back to dry tyres. Maybe that's why Rocco has pitted. This is going to be very, very spicy indeed. Because the top 7 haven't pitted yet. So they're going to gain massively. They're going to gain such track position if we have to switch over to a set of intermediate tyres.
Yeah,
and the people. Yeah, this is going to
be. Montana's going for the race lead. Montana's down. Gets the move done. Down towards third. Gets the move done. Montana's through on Connor, and there was a fair fight between the Mercedes. So obviously no first and second driver out on track. Montana is through, and he's into the lead of the race. Connor's tyres might be going off, and also further down the field, Nathan latching onto the back of Alba, and Alba on the back of Verstappen. What do these guys do though? That rain is coming down quite heavy though.
Yeah, and that move is so important by Montana. Montana pits. I'm going to say Montana has priority in the pits, and he's going to pit, and he's going to get that. Connor's going to be left out for dead, and look how wet it is already, and he's definitely going on to set of intermediate tyres. Wow, this is going to spice things up massively. And Neo stayed out, interestingly. Neo stayed out, Dylan stayed out, June stayed out. DRS is still enabled, so maybe we're not at the crossover point. Keep an eye on Montana and Cantera and see what they do lap time wise.
Yeah, look at how wet the pit lane is. Izza is in. Everyone is now coming in. They predict that the DRS is going to be disabled. I think, however, DRS is going to be disabled this lap around. We can see how Connor is struggling on that set of medium compound tyres. To be honest, if there's no DRS disabled now, I don't think there were. As Connor nearly spins it, coming through 6 and 7, down the Mistral straight again. He's now going to be hoping that there's no chicane in the way here, coming down in towards 8 and 9. Otherwise, Connor could go straight on, and there might be a bit of a lock-up. The rain is falling. Still looks dry though out on track. Dry patches still out on track. However, Joom is down the inside line of Dylan. Down the straight he goes into P3. He goes, and now the DRS has been disabled. Montana now might be in the net race lead.
He is in the net race lead. He 100% is in the net race. Dylan and Joom are going side by side in the wet. This is not something you want to do. Dry tyres, wet track, around turn 10. Oh, hold your breath. And
Joom! He's in the back of him. And he hits the wall. That's a safety car. I think that might be a safety car. It's off track. Joom though.
Yep.
Safety car.
Oh, that's wow.
That's the saving grace for Connor, Neo, and Dylan.
That is going to be so interesting now where they're going to come out in terms of Montana. They might be ahead of them.
I think they will be.
It sort of saves Rocco as well, because Rocco is still out on a set of medium tyres after pitting. Or what could have been for Rocco if he had stayed out just one more lap. The minute he pitted, he lost. It started to rain. So let's see now where Montana comes out. He's just at the end of the last sector. It's going to be close, you know. It's going to be very close.
It is going to be very close. Of course, they've got to stick to the delta time. Montana is coming through Pont at turn 14, Lack, I should say, at turn 14, and then into Pont at turn 15. Connor is going to be ahead. I think Neo's going to be ahead, and I think Montana is going to filter in maybe behind Dylan. He's coming out the pit lane. Connor, Neo, nearly fighting out the pit lane as well. Montana is going to be ahead of Neo. Montana's into second. It's a Mercedes 1-2. Connor leads the way. Oh, and actually, Neo is into second. So Neo's in second, and Montana's now third, and I think it was illegal maybe to come out the pit lane ahead of the driver. I don't know. Connor, though, out on top, Neo second, Montana in third. Rocco is into the pit lane, and he's going to rejoin. I think in the pointers, Ruta has came into the pit lane, I think to serve a 5-second penalty for collision with Yul Melmat.
Yeah, I think what happened there was Montana went over the delta. Montana was
Yeah.
trying to push, try and get ahead, and then just slow down to get back into Delta, and the game just didn't recognise that and let Neo get back past. But I think that's what happened. I think Montana just went over to Delta to try and get ahead of Neo, and then the fact that he couldn't, they had to slow down, just the game just thought he stopped and let Neo back by. So, yeah, this gives Connor a great opportunity. Connor's been thrown a lifeline here with that safety car. He needs a win. He needs a win for this championship to make it interesting. We can't have Montana winning every week. We need Connor to win. He won in Silverstone, sorry. This is his opportunity to put. He DNF last week at Silverstone or Singapore, sorry. This is his chance to put things right. With his teammate in third, he can gain some valuable points. Even if Montana gets up to second, 7 points is huge in the championship earlier on in the season.
It is, and Connor, to be honest, he'll hold a 3-point advantage, I think, Montana, going into next week. Of course, that's bearing in mind the fastest lap of the race. Currently, the fastest lap of the race is Justas with a 31.7 on that set of dry compound tyres, of course. So Justas currently holds that fastest lap point. If we are to get wet racing, I think, towards the end of the race, and it might be very possible because the rain is still coming down that little bit heavier, Connor trying to burn fuel as well out in front behind the safety car, but Connor leads the way. Neo in second, by the way, in third, with Montana in third. And by the way, I've just realised the Aston Martin safety car is out on track. The first time we've actually seen it here in League of Europe this season.
It doesn't look too bad, doesn't it? No, it looks quite nice, I have to say. It might have taken them a while to get the patch out, but it's nice to have the Aston Martin here.
Oh no!
Way.
I've just thought of a joke, and I really don't want to say it.
You have to say it now. You can't leave us hanging. You got to spill.
The Aston Martin safety car is about as expensive as the contracts on Relentless drivers. Connor leads the way, Neo second, Montana in third, lap 17 out of 27. Mr. PSGL PC F1, by the way, is in the comment section as well. Mr. Daniel Field, hopefully you are doing very well, my friend. And of course, he is going to be commentating from next week alongside George Morgan in PSGL PC. And while I'm at it as well, you can tune in for the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup event next Friday at 8 PM UK time. Myself and Aidan Carter taking you through that one, of course, on Friday. And hopefully, we might just outdo the viewer stream of PSGL PC.
Yeah, like PSGL needed any more promotion. Like PSGL needed any more advertising or any more viewers. No, they're doing bits over there, so fair play. And I'm really looking forward to that event. You and Aidan commentating over it. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
I've seen Jav's comment, by the way. I will take my comment back as well, Jav, just for that one in the comment section. I've just seen it. Connor leads the way. Neo in second, Montana in third. Honestly, if you saw me right now, I have a massive ruffled beard, and I've been letting it grow the last couple of weeks, so that's definitely not like the photo I've got on Discord or any platform like that. But Connor out on top, Neo in second, Montana in third. Jensen is in AI mode, if I'm not... Oh no, actually, Jensen is still out on track. Fair play to him. He's down in 16th position. Obviously, I think the safety car is going to be staying out at least one more lap, but Connor leads the way, Neo in second, Montana in third. Wet running out on track, intermediates, probably towards the end of the race. There is still glimmers of blue sky, though, in behind that low cloud. And that begs the question, the more time we're back under the safety car, is it the more time to dry up right at the end?
Yeah, and the longer behind the safety car, the less opportunity Montana has to win this race. So... yeah, it's strange. I think the safety car is waiting for Jensen to catch up to the field, so we'll go for another lap. But yeah, who knows? Like, it could dry out by the end of it. If it dries at the end of the race, we are in for an absolutely banging finale. Because I would suspect drivers just risking it staying out on intermediates, stuff crazy like that. If we do have a dry end to the race, but who knows?
Justas is
in the pits. Justas is pitting.
Has he got damage? 5-second penalty? I'm thinking, no, he hasn't got a penalty at all. He's in the pit.
What's he going on to?
It's a fresh set of... Oh, it's full wets! He's going on to full wets! Justas is going on full wets! This is unbelievable! Justas is the only man... He's just ruined his own race!
Surely. Or has he played an absolute masterclass here? Is the rain going to get heavier and everyone's going to have to pit for a set of wet tyres? And Justas has gone, you know what, I'll take the pit stop under the safety car. I might be slower for a lap or two, but when that heavy rain comes, I'm going to gain massively so I don't have to pit and everyone else does. This could either work out brilliantly for the Ferrari driver, or it would be absolutely embarrassing for him. There's nothing in between. It's going either way, and then we're going to have to wait and see now, because that is wow. That is a bold strategy. That is very bold. It's not like he was last. He was in 7th place, and he's decided to whack on a set of wet tires. So that's a very bold strategy by the Justas.
Oh, Connor's left the session from the lead.
No,
Connor's left the session from the lead. He's absolutely riddled with bad luck, and Connor now has got to rejoin the session quick. Somebody quickly send him an invite. Hopefully he'll get back in. But he is leading underneath the safety car. He's got the whole field bearing down on him on the run in towards turn 1. And they all have to stay behind the safety cars in this lap as well. As if you couldn't get more drama out on track, we just have.
That is heartbreak for the NSX driver. I've sent him an invite, so hopefully he can get back into the lobby ASAP before we go racing again. Oh, he's going to lose so much time. He's going to lose so much time. He's back in. Let's hope he can take control of the car.
I don't think he will.
I think he might be okay. It's going to be close, but I think he might be able to do it.
His AI is setting the pace, though. He is not setting the pace. His AI is going at the coded pace, what an AI would do underneath the safety car. And this is probably better than what he'd be doing. And do you know what? This is going to be a really quick restart. So Connor is going to be having to hope he can take control of his car very soon indeed before they get through toward the line. And in fact, his AI car just speeds up. And now we're about to say go. And Connor retakes his control of his car in the lead of the race. I've never seen anything like it. But we are back underway. And Connor has stolen a second at least on Neo underneath the safety car restart. However crucial this might be, it's 7/10 of a second coming across the line. Connor leads the way, Neo in second, Montana in third. We have to thank Gary for that massively quick invite to Connor. He's back in luckily, and he leads the race still. Yul Mamat's on the back of Nathan, running on the back. Justas is gaining time, I think, on the back of Jensen. It might be because of the pace, but Justas doesn't look too far off the pace at the minute on that set of wet compounded tyres. But Connor's away. He's stolen a march on the field, 1.1 seconds. Montana's on the back as well, trying to make it a Mercedes 1-2. He's on the back of Neo, but Connor's absolutely stolen a march away. Very civilised restart from all.
Here we go. Montana's not wasting any time behind Neo. He's going to give it all. He's burning all his ERS, and he's alongside the Aston Martin driver. He's going to be side by side into turn 9 and 10. Neo's going to put too much of a fight. No, he doesn't. And that is Montana up into second place, and now he's got his eyes set on Connor, and this is what we want. The championship battle. 8 laps to go. Teammates, NSX teammates, championship rivals. Let's see how it goes. Those wet tires are not working for Justas. He's falling off. He is struggling. He's got to hope that it's going to get heavier right now. He needs it right now. It's not happening though. So let's see. As Dylan's right on the back of Neo as well. So it's going to get very impressive. It's going to get...
Nathan's trying to go on the outside of Campbell through turn 11, which I'm not on board with. Goodness me, he nearly actually did it. He tried to go all the way around the outside. He didn't quite do. Justas, I think, that sort of wet compounded tyres might not be good enough at the minute, but rain is getting heavier out on track. Connor leads the way, Montana in second, Neo in third. The wet weather specialist now coming to the fore. Justas, is he coming back into the pit lane? I'm going to quickly ride on ball with them. And the Lithuanian, he's back into the pit as Alba and Rocco fight for 10th and 11th position. Verstappen's off the back of this as well, but Albert fighting with Rocco. Down in the hill, in towards turn number 1. Connor leads the way, Montana second, Neo in third. We've still got 8 laps to go. I feel like this race has been going on for about 2 hours now.
It is absolutely fantastic. Like Jav says in the comments, more twists and turns in an episode of Coronation Street, and we love it. We love a bit of Corrie, we do. But yeah, Connor seems to have the pace at the moment. He is looking strong in these conditions. Montana can't get close enough. Connor's got 100% ERS. Montana's burning a lot more ERS than him. But these two, they're clear of the rest of the field. He's already pulled a second to Neo, which is ridiculous in itself. Neo is no slouch in the wet. But these two guys are putting on a performance on how to drive in the wet, and it's going to be a matter of time before they're battling for this race win. And it's going to be interesting to see, will we have a bit of Bottas and Hamilton, or will we have Hamilton and Rosberg? That's what we're going to have to wait and see when the laps start ticking down. But yeah, I can't wait. I really hope they battle. I think they will. I don't think they're going to be giving each other an inch, especially with the championship line. Look at Montana.
Oh, look at Montana!
So close. He's so close. He's going to go round the outside of turn.
No way.
11. No way is he going to be able to pull that off. Connor's going to push him out. He's going to try and get switchback. Not going to happen. He's going to have so much more traction, but nowhere to go. He has to hold back. And Connor's just going everywhere. He's taking all the defensive lines, and that's holding him up for the next races. Oh, Montana gets all out of shape. What a save that is. But Montana's on the edge right now. You can tell by the way he's driving.
Yeah, he wants this. He wants this. No matter who's in front of him and who's behind him, Montana wants this. He wants to extend his championship lead over Connor. And I think, honestly, this is going to be more like Hamilton and Rosberg 2014 in Bahrain, the duel of the desert. And Connor leads the way into lap 21 out of 27. Montana in second. They pulled 1.5 seconds clear on Neo, but Neo was not out of this. If these two battle out in front, the whole field are going to catch. They're going to be in a big old train running down the straight, down the Mistral straight, and certainly down the start-finish straight as well. But Montana on the back of Connor. That ABS usage, I think, is really coming into effect round here. Obviously, in conditions, I have to throw that comment out there. Montana is on the back of Connor, but Montana looks stronger at certain parts of the track than Connor does. However, Connor, I've commentated on him plenty of times in the wet before. I know his wet pace, and he has certainly shown that so far tonight. Yul Melmatt got all out of shape as well, further down the field on the back of Nathan. Rocker was on the back of him, but not quite close enough. But Connor leads the way. Montana in second. Neo was vibing in the comments section, says Bunsey. Currently he's in third position. He's actually losing time as well in third. And now we're beginning to see a real split, because third, fourth and fifth are now ahead. Izza is holding up Campbell, and now Montana on the back of Connor.
Ooh. He's so cold. He had another go into turn 10 or turn 11. That's where he seems to be liking to make the moves into turn 11. He's putting down.
Izza was... Is Izza disconnected? I think Izza's disconnected.
Yeah,
he has.
Disconnected. Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. Whoa, gave me a heart attack there, James. Jesus. But yeah, Montana's used so much more ERS compared to Connor. He's already down to 35 and Connor's on 85, so he's got 50% difference. So Montana's having to use a lot more ERS to stick with Connor. So that just tells me Connor has a little bit of an edge right now over his teammate in the wet. He's not having to use as much ERS for his pace. So as we've got Yul Melmatt is overtaking Izza as well, so that's just AI getting overtaken. That's a shame for Izza. Oh, yeah, that's just a shame. I think he was in P6, P7, so that's the bamboo internet, as Montana called it earlier on before the race.
Coulda, shoulda, Izza, didn't. Simple. Connor leads the way. Montana in second. Yul Melmatt's picking up a penalty. Izza's dropping down the field as well. Hopefully Jav might like that one. Alba's on the back of Rocco for P10. And Izza is going to drop out the points, obviously. Verstappen and Daniel are going to be promoted into the points. As a result, as Alba gets all out of shape, and now Verstappen is going to look down the Mistral straight on the back of the German. And here comes the Flying Dutchman on the back of the German. Last week's race winner, of course, Alba, is going to be overtaken maybe by Verstappen. I think Verstappen is not going to get this move done down the inside line. He doesn't. Ruta doesn't commit the move either on Daniel. Will remain as we are. Connor leads the way. Montana in second. They're pulling away. Connor looks like he's got the pace over Montana though, and that is nearly out for a second.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get Izza back into the lobby. I can't even find his PSN. It's just, I was looking up the wrong PSN. Apologies, but yeah, I'm just trying to get Izza back in. So you can just keep going while I try and do that.
Yeah, no worries. Cantera's on the back of Dylan, third, fourth and fifth position, along with Neo, who's obviously just ahead of these guys. But look at the spray, though. Of course, the set of intermediate compounded tyre can take around 25 to 30 litres of water of disposal out on track. The set of wets that you saw with Justas earlier on in the race as well, around 75 litres worth of water. And it looks as if the rain is just beginning to ease off slightly. And I think, honestly, it is easing off. The rain is really beginning to ease out on track. Connor leads the way. Montana second, Neo in third. I think we're going to have into running right to the end of this race now. No dry compounded tyres, I think, going to be had by anyone. But Connor now, crucially, 1.1 seconds ahead of Montana. There's Neo in third as well. Cantera on the back of Dylan, trying to make an impact in terms of the penalties update as well. 3 seconds worth of penalties for Dylan, Rocco, Alba, Jensen and Izza. And if you're Yul Melmatt, you're probably just thinking, why on earth, what a day have I had. 17 seconds worth of penalties for Yul Melmatt.
Wow. And look, Montana's dropped off from Connor. The gap's now like a second, so Montana just doesn't have the pace in the wet to match Connor. And Cantera's trying to get past Dylan up into P4 and battle Neo for that final podium position. But Cantera's already got a race win this season. He's third in the championship, so he'll be looking to get another podium. But like, this is a massive train starting to form up behind Neo. That goes all the way down to 8th place, really. And just Yul Melmatt just holding on to the back of Nate. He doesn't seem to have the pace in the wet. But these two guys at the front, they're showing us how to drive in the wet. 4 seconds they pulled. 4.5 seconds already on Neo in a matter of laps. I think we've only done 4 or 5 laps in the wet at the moment. Alright, so that is ridiculous pace being set at the front of the field.
Verstappen down the inside of Alba, coming through turn 11. That's bold, it's brave, it's nearly brilliant. And now Alba repays the favour back. And Alba's back ahead. In towards P10 he goes. Verstappen in P11. Yeah, but as you said, Connor and Montana have pulled away 4.5 seconds over Neo. Incredibly impressive pace. Lap 24 about to begin. The rain continuing to ease off. It is going to be into towards the end of the race. But Connor leads the way. Montana in second. Montana, honestly, he has to try and really delve in. He's got to find Connor's weakness, and if there's anybody that can find that weakness in his own teammate as well as being in the same team as him, it's Montana.
Yeah, I think Montana knew himself. He knew he had to get that move done early. We've seen him burn a lot of ERS. He was going for the moves. He was really pushing Connor after the safety car restart. He knew that's when it was best chance probably to get ahead of Connor before he started getting a feel for the conditions. And now that he's had a feel for the conditions, he's just been controlling. He's got 80% ERS compared to Montana's 20. So Montana's just having to burn an awful lot more than his teammate to stick with him. So that's the issue for Montana. He just doesn't have the pace. He's not quicker than Connor, I don't think, at this moment on raw speed, and that's his issue at the moment. That safety car is massive, absolutely massive. Because I think if Montana was ahead of Connor, he'd be able to hold him up enough. The gap isn't pace-wise, isn't big enough like for a move for either to make. So I think it's going to be very yellow flags. Jules Melmat.
Is that enough to deploy a safety car? It is! It's a safety car! It's a safety car with 3 laps to go, basically! Out on track, and if drama couldn't be personified more, it just has. Another safety car out on track. Everyone's got to stay out on the same compound and tie, surely.
Yeah, I think the safety car will come straight in at the end of lap 25.
Yeah.
It likes to do 2 laps of green flag running, so it'd be a 1-lap safety car. So if I wouldn't pit if I was anyone, it'd be very foolish thing to do because it's no point. It's still raining. You're not going to gain anything on a fresh intermediate tyres with 2 laps to go. So that just gives us more drama. It's the safety car restart. People are going to go for moves. It's going to be this is going to be what a race this has been. And safety cars, wow.
And this nullifies Connor and Montana's 6.5 second advantage over Neo. This is what nullifies it and now brings everyone else back into play. This race, as a result, has been thrown absolutely wide open because of the safety car. Jules Melmat, I think, crashed coming through turn 10, if I'm not mistaken. So Jules Melmat out of the race coming through there. But Connor leading the way, Montana in second, Neo in third. Nobody has came into the pit lane. Justas, is he actually going to catch the back of the safety car? Isa, by the way, luckily has rejoined. He's actually graced our presence here in League Group. He's back into the session, obviously down in 14th position, but crucially he's back in, can take control of his car under the safety car restart, and Connor still leads the way. Montana in second, Neo in third, 2.5 laps to go, safety car out, drama personified in League Group Division 1.
Yeah, and you were saying that it took away the gap that they had to Neo. What also it did was it got rid of Connor's advantage of ERS compared to Montana. Yeah. He had over 50% more ERS, so it's a level playing field once again. And we saw how quick Montana was at the first safety car restart compared to Connor. He was all over the back of the Mercedes driver, hounding him into every corner. I'm expecting the same again, so this is going to be fireworks. Montana knows he needs to get this move done on the safety car restart straight away. He needs to make Connor uncomfortable, make him under a bit of pressure. And Montana's just weaving a little bit, trying to get a bit of temperature. And safety car in this lap. Still 1-lap safety car. Here we go. It's going to be a 2-lap sprint. Who's going to take home the win at France? Oh, I can't wait for this now. This is going to be epic, I think. It is going to be insane.
Jav, by the way, is going mad for Passe. Passe is not racing here in Division 1, by the way, Jav. He did say it's in the wrong chat, but Passe apparently 16th up to 1st in Division 4. That might be something you have to go and watch back later on, of course, after Division 2 and 5 after this. But what are we about to see in the final 2 laps of this race? Connor leads the way. Everyone on 100% ERS pretty much. Montana is just slightly less in terms of his ERS deployment, but he's going to be on 100% as they come in towards the final couple of corners. There we go. He's on the 100% deployment, same with Connor, and now this safety car restart is going to be crucial. Where is Connor going to go? Is it the exit of the final corner? His AI went here, coming through the final couple of corners and gaining a massive advantage, and now Connor out of the final corner, now puts the hammer down, and the 2 Mercedes absolutely burn away from the field, and it is literally what we saw just before the safety car restart. It's Connor leading the way. Montana and second, they've already pulled 1.2 seconds out on Neo, running down in towards turn 1. Dylan on the back of Neo, 2 XL drivers, 3rd and 4th position. Cantera's on the back, a very good restart by all. Connor, though, and Montana have absolutely stolen away once again.
Yeah, the same as last time, and now this is where Connor needs to do just keep his head. He knows it. He has the pace. He knows he's quicker than Montana in these conditions. He's got to hold on for 2 laps. He nailed the restart. Sorry, he pulled 2 seconds to Neo, so they are no match. And Neo's struggling a little bit at the moment on this race start. He's got Dylan all over the back of him, so he's got to be careful for that. But this is the battle we want to watch. Connor, Montana. Montana's not close enough for a move down into the chicane. He just needs to get close enough to have a go on the last lap. And we know if Montana has a sniff of a chance, he will go for it. So let's see if Montana, he's been strong in the final sector. That's where he's been making the move, trying to make the move on Connor through turn 11. Let's see if he can get close enough again. But Connor just getting on the traction a bit better. Montana a bit skirmish out of turn 10, but he's not going to be close enough there. So let's see. Look at how much he's gaining. He just seems to be so much more momentum through 11, or 10, sorry, into 11 now. And look how much he's just gained. This is where he's so strong. This is where Connor's weak. So Montana knows. Get close to him through here. He has a great chance to win this race, but he's got a lot to do on this final lap.
Yeah, Connor looks like he's jumping as well. After taking control of that underneath the safety car restart, just looks like he's jumping slightly on my screen, but I think that is to do with him rejoining the session. Connor, though, leads the way. Montana in second. 1 more lap between greatness and Connor's first victory here in League of Europe, and it's Connor who leads the way to Montana in second. It's Neo in third. And to put it into perspective as well, in terms of the standings coming into tonight here as well, it is going to be our fourth... actually, Connor's already taken the race win this season, I should say. He took the race, of course, in Britain, but Connor leads the way. Montana in second, and Montana has got to literally use up all of his ERS at one point in the track, and that is down the Mistral straight. If he gets a good run through turn 10, you never know. Connor could make a mistake before then, and Montana might be right on the back of him, but with half a lap to go, Connor leads the way. Montana in second, Neo in third, and that's how it looked like we're going to go in terms of the top 3.
Yeah, Montana's not close enough. He hasn't got close enough, so he's going to have to burn absolutely everything now. Try and get as close as he can into that final sector, and maybe, just maybe, have a little look into turn number 11. That's where he seems to have a strong point on Connor, up this straight and into 11. So, or into 10 and 11. So let's see what he can do. He's close, but he's not close enough. Gap half a second. Let's see, he's burning absolutely everything. Connor's burning absolutely everything. He's been carrying so much more momentum than Connor through here. Look at the closing speed.
Oh, and I'll tell you what.
No,
I'll tell you what, Gary. Nathan's right on the back of Campbell as well, coming through turn 10 and then in towards 11. Campbell switches the inside line. Nathan hangs it all the way around the outside line, tries to get the move around 11. The Scotsman and the Brit battle it out, and it's the Scotsman who comes out on top. Nathan tries, he might dive this down the inside line, around the outside in towards turn 12, tries to get the move done. I don't think he's going to commit the move, maybe into the final couple of corners, but Connor has managed the stress very well indeed. He's managed it very well as he now comes through the final couple of corners. Connor on his way to his second race victory of the season here in Division 1. Connor to the line, takes it over Montana, and Montana's going to be gutted because he loses points. And actually, there's a glitch because Connor's dropped behind Montana, and Montana is first on our screen, but surely Connor, no penalties. He wins the race. Montana in second, Neo in third.
Yeah. Wow. Take a breath. We've got a championship fight on this season, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that was a brilliant drive. The Mercedes boys played that to perfection, purposely starting on the old strategy and waiting for the rain to come. Connor maybe got a little bit fortunate with the safety car timing, otherwise I think Montana would race win in the season, and that's going to make things very interesting in the championship.
It does make things very interesting in the championship. It's a 7-point gain for Connor. It takes the gap now to 6 points between himself and Montana. Reminiscent of anything between the two Mercedes? Rosberg? Hamilton? I think it is. 16th on the grid though. Montana has won. Connor in second position. But obviously Connor has taken them in. Montana there in second. Neo in third. Penalties, by the way, really came into effect quite late on. Dylan's dropped from 4th all the way down to 8th. It's Cantera, Campbell, Nathan, Verstappen ahead of him. With Dylan at 8th. Daniel in 9th. And Justas picking up a point. Still somehow gets the top 10. Unbelievable stuff from Justas. That safety car really helped him. Rocco in 11th. Alba in 12th picks up the point. With Ruter in 13th. Jensen in 14th. Izza in 15th. You'll Melmat Doom. You'll Bremer Matthias. All DNFing out of the race. But it's Montana out on top. Connor in second. Neo in third. Apparently my internet connection quality is not sufficient to broadcast gameplay, apparently. It's very strange. I'm on an Ethernet.
Oh no. Well, hopefully we can get these interviews done quickly then, so your internet doesn't die completely, and I get the 3 people invited. Fighting Connor and Montana in again. We're running out of questions for these guys, honestly. It's always these two every week, and then it's always a surprise podium finisher. So yeah, let's get these guys invited. But wow, what a race. And yeah, it's going back and forth between these two now. We're having a bit of, like you said, Rosberg Hamilton. That's what we want to see here in Division 1. And it's shaping up to be a great end to the great rest of the season, because we've already done 6 races and it's been absolutely entertainment, full of entertainment, just absolutely full of it.
Yeah, 6 races, of course, down, and still plenty more to come. I think there's 10 more races to come this season. Russia is the round we go to next, of course, and around the track of Sochi, it could be quite an interesting race indeed. We've got Montana and Neo both in the party with us. Hopefully Connor is going to be joining as well. I can see his mic flickering, so there he is. Connor has joined the party now, and Connor, you take the win out on track. 2nd win of the season, following up from that British success. Talk us through it, because that was one hell of a race.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Almost got fucked over going on to the Inters, but safety car sort of saved me there. And got lucky with the disconnect as well, because I got back in my car just before the line. So the AI didn't do anything too dodgy, didn't we lose any places. Just defending from there.
Yeah, honestly, I'll talk about that safety car rejoin as well, because that was literally 30-second stuff. Gary sent you that invite. What was going through your mind? Did you think you'd lost the race win then?
Yeah, because the same thing happened to me on Wednesday. I disconnected from a safety car and it wouldn't let me rejoin. So I was thinking the same thing was going to happen, but luckily it was quick to rejoin. I didn't lose any time. Which, and I was about to be pissed.
And of course, you take the fight once again to Montana. You close the gap again by 7 points, and I think the gap going into next week is 6 or 7 points going in towards Russia. That must be quite a good battle developing between you both.
Yeah, hopefully it can continue. I just need to get close to him and qualify if I want to do anything about it. But I got a bit lucky that we both had dodgy qualifying, so we were sort of near each other. Just had to figure it out in the race.
Yeah, you were quicker than him in qualifying as well, so that'll take definitely a positive, I'm sure, we're going into Russia. Gary, quickly, I'll come across to you. Any questions?
Yeah, of course, you and Montana both elected to start on the alternate strategy. Was that always the plan, I guess? It seemed pretty obvious because of the rain. You just wanted to start on the mediums or the softs, or medium or the hards. And when was the rain scheduled to come? Because a lot of people decided to go onto a set of softs and actually hit before the rain. So was the rain scheduled to come later on in the race? Did it come a bit earlier than it was supposed
to? The graphics, when we was changing the strategy, it didn't have any rain on it. But Jeff was saying it was going to rain. So I had no idea when it was coming or not. So I was just stretching out these mediums until the rain came and got overtaken just as it came. So you were just lucky.
Yeah, you didn't know it was going to rain. So the plan was always to start on the Ultra anyway, even if it was a dry race.
Yeah. Plan was to start on mediums, but I didn't want anything to do with them soft. But no, the rain. It said it was going to rain, but it didn't say when. So it was sort of guess it. And hope you got lucky.
And of course, right? Yeah, and of course you got quite lucky as well with the safety car as well, coming out at the perfect time for you, because you got just as it started to the crossover point, Montana overtook you, and the safety car came out. You seem very strong in the wet conditions. Is that something you favour? You seem to have a little bit of an edge over Montana in the wet. Will you be hoping for a few more wet races this season?
Actually, he was quicker than me in the wet. I just had to get used to it for a few laps and figure out where he was quicker, where to use my battery to defend. Once I figured that out, it was not easy, but it was manageable to keep him behind. But no, he definitely had the pace on me today. But I wouldn't mind a few wet qualifyings. Mix it up a bit.
Yeah, and of course now with that win, you put yourself right back up to Montana after having that DNF last week at Singapore. It's shaping up to be a great championship battle between you guys. What do you think you got to do to win? Is qualifying definitely the big issue, isn't it, for you? If you can get qualifying nailed down, you think you can win this championship?
I think so, yeah. But it's just a big question mark about qualifying. I've never been good at qualifying, but I'm going to have to get better if I want to challenge Montana. You can't give him any advantage.
Well, hopefully for our sakes, for the entertainment's sake, you can improve when you qualify. You can give us a couple more races like that throughout the season. So congrats on your win, man, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, boys. See ya.
You're very welcome indeed. We'll now move on to Montana. Of course, he finished in P2, and Montana, 2nd position from you out on track. You drove to your absolute limit, I think, trying to catch Connor. Wasn't good enough in the end, but P2 still a good result.
Yeah, it was an interesting and weird one. I take P2. Just gotta say, the track limits in quali are ridiculously stupid. Me and Connor both got this and next lap invalidated, although we were like in the beginning of the third sector. So I was aiming for going for P11 because I was the last across the line, but it was invalid, so I was 13th or 14th. PS5 OP start anyways again. Just going to the field hards were great after a couple of laps. And yeah, then just picking them off, staying in the race. I knew I needed to overtake Connor before the rain comes, so I got the priority in the pits, which I did last corner. Jeff's call was the last corner pit. And then I thought, easy win in the back. And then Mr. Spaniard decided to go flat in the right-hander probably. And the safety car absolutely ruined it. So, yeah, a bit painful. But otherwise, I tried overtaking Connor, but if you know how to defend, which he does very well in the wet, it's impossible to overtake. I had 1 or 2 goes after flat right, but he was just too good. But I take 18 points it is, I think.
Yep.
So, yeah, why not? It's France.
It's France, but you still hold the championship lead, of course, going into next week. And 6 points over Connor. Doesn't feel like anything, but you've still got that advantage going, of course, into next week.
Yes, not concerned about the gap at the moment. I know if I just deliver race by race by race, Connor is gonna break at some point, or his internet connection. We'll see. Yeah, but I don't know. Not too worried at the moment. Just focusing on each race.
I'll move on to Gary. Any questions?
Yeah, after that, you must have heart in your mouth when that safety car came out. You must have been so disappointed. You got very close to Connor at the first safety car restart. You seemed all over the back of him. You seemed to be right on the edge of the car going through turn 11 and 12. So how much were you pushing to try and get past Connor, especially on that first safety car restart?
Yeah, I tried everything. I did some laps in the wet beforehand, and Connor didn't. So I knew if I wanted to get past, I needed to do so as soon as possible before he gets used to it. Because once he gets used to it, he's as quick as I am. But if you defend the inside there, the only way you can go is around the outside, and there's no grip. If I did a Montana move to the inside, I would have probably just spun on him because it was just no gap. So, yeah, as I said, he just defended it too well. Was on the limit, nearly lost it a couple of times, but
yeah,
I gave it a go.
Yeah, and I get the vibe that you're like, France is one of your favourite tracks, going off what you've been saying. So, looking at Russia, is that one that you'd be more favourable towards, and one that you look forward to more? Maybe get a win this time. It's not like you came 5th or anything. You got 2nd place, so it's still a good result. But like, of course, you always want to win. So is Russia? Do you think you have a better chance of winning at Russia than you would at France?
Russia is my hood, No, it's a great track. It's a beautiful track.
Yeah.
If I get quali right, it's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah. Well, good luck, and you and Connor are starting to give us a great championship fight. It's really close, and it's great races. So hopefully we have a few more races like that, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. Love you, Gary.
Love you.
Oh, he doesn't say love you to me. Terrible. No, Jav loves...
I like you, James. I like you, James. I like you.
Jav loves me more. Jav loves me more. Simple. Neo, we'll come on to you finishing, of course, at P3. Best result of the season from your perspective, Neo. Talk us through it.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. You're happy, I'm happy as well. Obviously, P3 for you, a very good result, obviously.
Oh,
and
wait. Neil, your voice isn't on share. Sorry, James, but Neil, I don't think your voice is on share. Yeah, someone in the comments is saying your voice isn't on share, so we haven't heard your great podium reaction. Old people these days, they're not great with the technology, I see. So. How's your evening, James? Going well, yeah?
Yeah, going very well. I've just somehow found myself into the F2 lobby. I wonder why.
Yeah. Hopefully we can hear Neo now. Chat, can you let us know if we can hear Neo or not? Please, that'd be great. I guess we can. Well, no one said we can't, so we'll continue. We'll continue. So we'll just go back to it. So we'll hand it back over to James and my next question.
And yeah, just reflecting on that as well, P3 of course being your best result of the season, how will that translate of course going into Russia next week? Yeah, having fun indeed. Gary, any questions?
Yeah, Mark Webber said all those years ago, not bad for a number 2 driver. I think you're probably saying not bad for an old man. So, like, it's been a while. I know, I'm catching up. But, yeah, so it's been a while, like you said. It's been a while since you had a podium. What was that feeling when you crossed the line? Because I know you've been quite unlucky this season in Bahrain. You had a great chance of a podium and you disconnected. So you probably didn't feel, and you've been quite unlucky in other races, you probably didn't feel this podium was going to come this season. So how did you feel when you crossed the line? Yeah. Typical German, really. Typical German. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think now? Another podium? Race win? Or are you just going to aim for as many points as possible and just being consistent? Because you were one of the most consistent drivers last season, so you probably aim for the same again this season, are you? Yeah. Yeah. Well, congrats, man, on the podium. It's been a while coming, so enjoy it and enjoy the rest of your evening. Love you.
The feeling is mutual. There we are. But yeah, the interviews have now finished for Division 1. If you're wondering why I'm in the Division 2 lobby, it's because you get me as a commentator tonight alongside J. Cole. So, good luck, Gary. I'm hoping for another race win from you from Silverstone.
I'm gonna have to. I'll probably have to, if I win, I'm gonna have a race interview. I've only have to spend an hour in the commentary box with you, and I have to go. Ah, for God's sake!
He's not gonna get sick of me too soon. Trust me. Hopefully, we do see though in Division 2 a really good replicated race as we have in Division 1. And because we're really short of time, I'm gonna join J. Cole now. We're gonna end it here. So thank you to Gary. Thank you to all of our interviewers for coming into the commentary box. We hope you really enjoyed this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell. Of course, if you're new, Division 2 and 5 upcoming in the next 10 minutes. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.